And we're live on YouTube. Remember to subscribe. That would be great. Get notified. Hello, I am Brenda Jean, Power Medicine Woman, and I am from Medicine Woman Soultion. So always remember to share, to like, and to, if you believe in this message, get it out there for others. You can give back, because how we give back is that since I'm already giving all of this to you without you having to work for it, help me out, share the appreciation, and give back by sharing it in other groups. There are several groups out there that already do live feeds. You're more than welcome to join it and then put my live feed in there. All things help, as I am unable to do it while I'm doing the show. And that's okay. I'll get and talk to who I'm supposed to. Mother Earth is doing her thing when we're in a fractal moment of changing the economics, the ecology on the planet. More light codes are coming on. What does that mean? Very simply, it means is that if you are beginning to be attuned to who you are, what it is that you do, you will get downloads. So I know that part of my purpose is to help. I'm the vessel, so the information comes through. And what happens, excuse me, aspect of who am I? So it's like consciously, who am I? And then you move into that mental aspect of going into that, how I define a little warmer. You'd swear that somebody turned up the heat and your ass is going to be on fire, because there will be things that your ego is going to say, oh my God, I recognize myself there. Oh, no, I can't admit that. And it is helping you find more of who you are in the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is very simply, your soul is evolving. And as it looks at all of the things that the involution process was, who am I? What am I? What is love? And when you move in a progression of discovery, you create a new parameters of what it looks like. So you can go, comparison. Well, that being said, as I download the next information about the classes, people are going to start looking at the inner child. So we're going to do more inner child work on the emotional body, and the hot seat will feel like it's increased. This is where you're really going to have to pay attention to your glossary words about the twangs, the pain, the reactions of how I coped, which is maybe to suppress, reject, rebel. And just giving my students a heads up, but this is a phase you don't want to miss. This is a phase that feels very ugly, but at the same time can be so informative and so revealing that sometimes you just wish, oh my God, I crawl back in my hole. Well, here's the thing. People already see it. People don't understand it. People are going to now understand all of this next step about the emotional body and the inner child, and where you get to meet your arrested developments, where you couldn't develop past because your coping tool to that experience froze you. We're going to learn how to see it through the spiritual mindset, to go, you learn how to process those emotions that make you go into defense mode, that make you reject your reality, and make you blueprints. This is what it is. I can tolerate this a little bit more. And, this is how I recovered. But we want to go back to the original. So physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, we want to go back to our divine blueprint. And the only way to really do that is begin to face when we have allowed ourselves to view it through the spiritual mindset. Part of the classes is not only discovering that, but you have to discover the glossary of the language of becoming a spiritual human. You are moving into the respect of, this is what a spiritual mindset is. So you're learning how to identify your authenticity, your authentic self. You're learning how to use tools that help you so you can't see it. And then as soon as you use tools, you begin to see what you were, the old mask, and who you really are. And you can now take the steps of listening to your excuses and your readings that stop you from actually resolving to evolve. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. So, and push the little love button up there, because part of me feels like I think I time for reward, which means if you actually, I can't really do it on your shares, that's fine, but share, because I can see some of them. Rewarding a person that helps to create a movement, to put more positivity on the planet, is very important. So if you hit the love button, that helps. If you share me out. Now, here's the other way I want you to share. I want you to copy and paste my fan page and then send it to your friends that will accept it. Don't be pushy. Don't be a jammer. Don't be any of these things. But maybe those that are fellow like-minded members would like to check it out. Okay, so I don't want to be your best kept secret. I want you to be able to understand that you're helping humanity grow. And we're going to be able to do this one healing at a time, one resolving of an issue at a time. And to get in to see who they were, how they had their life, where they're moving, and how they're moving out of it, and how happy they are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I find that very important that we do. Now, remember, please respect those places, those groups that do not accept live feeds. We do not need that bad connotation to me. So get out there, get like an insight. So please understand, you hit love, you hit share, you share me. It's not just your regular read, it is to help you move beyond how you see it. Now, here's an interesting twist. A lot of people go, well, my life sucks, or my life's great, but you don't know how to answer that. So if you are feeling pain, sorrow, any of that stuff, guess what? We can help you shift those emotions, those chemical peptides. We can also help you balance your left brain, right brain. So if you feel discombobulated, some cases are harder than others, and some cases are very surprising. For instance, Amy, I haven't talked to you since then. Would you mind coming on?
Sure.
Okay, this is Amy, everybody. She is the moderator for this group at this time. And so, Amy, you had, was not, okay, emotionally, mentally, physically, you're just like, boo, you're spiritually boo. And I said, we're going to have you focus on your brain. Intentionally focus on your brain, and we're going to use the source point healing, and that is the source point self-healing. You can use it on yourself, other people, and soon that class will be out there for you. But I said, okay, so I measured it, and the energy to the brain was not flowing inappropriately. It was just out of alignment, and it was not even flowing to that, because this is what the new information is all about. Spirit's trying to get ahead. I will tell you about that in a moment. So, Amy, tell me, do you remember before you sent that wowzer picture, how you felt?
Oh, I felt like I was going to die, basically. I mean, not emotionally and
do you know what I mean by that, right? It's just like there's no hope. It's hopeless.
It wouldn't stop. I mean, I was beating myself up for what? I don't know.
Okay. So what happens is that her little inner self, the time that she had an experience when she was younger, marked it. Her brain has to go into how the unresolved issue plays out. So then I said to you, Amy, I need you to focus on the left brain and do these source point healings on the left side of the body only. And then we did the right side. And as we did that, a couple seconds, couple minutes, whatever it took to time for you typing and rubbing, what happened?
It was gone.
How did you know?
The thought stopped. I calmed down. I mean, almost instantaneously.
So you got hope.
Yeah.
And you felt like you had help and that you could actually survive this.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I loved her response. She hadn't done the new tool yet in the way that I downloaded. And so it was like, all right, give it a go. Oh, I know it wouldn't, but if you read it, you would have noticed.
And I'm like, okay, that
You're out of alignment. It can create depression. It can create physical illness. And when you begin to tap into your innate healing and to direct it with intention, you can get major results. Hence, that's what you did.
yes.
And have you gone back to that hell, or has it lasted?
I went back a little bit and I redid the healing, and it's stuck now.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put you back over there. Now, that was really good. Now, here's the other thing. They found a 9mm nodule that's in my left upper lobe. And I said, okay, there must be a reason that I physically have to have something there in order for me to learn from. And as this new healing tool has been coming in, and I've been seeing miraculous things through myself, but then duplicating it by having you tap into your healing, and I've been seeing success all over the place. So in the middle of the night, I said, okay, tell me the reason. What is the learning opportunity that this is going to happen? What's going to happen? Tell me anything. And so I woke up realizing that what I teach, your life force, the amount of energy you accept, you believe, and you give your willpower to, will create things out of nothing. So if you have a physical ailment, how does it get there? How does it happen? Genetics? Viruses? Bacteria? How does it begins to drop like down to a 2? Your body is doing what nature is supposed to do. Like take a tree that has fallen and it becomes a rotten log. It is meant to break down. So why is it? What are we doing with that? We have taken our life force and we've put it into these emotions, these beliefs, these experiences. And over time, it's not, you're going to see the end results. You have to. So I said to Spirit, tell me about this. And they keep telling me that my gallbladder meridian is out of alignment. Now, I have no gallbladder, but it didn't take out the gallbladder meridian, it just took out the organ. But the meridian's still there. And I said, well, what is it that's habitually causing me to have this particular thing? And they said, gallbladder has the emotion of resentment and frustration. And I said, okay, it's about spinning out. Bitterness intelligence begins to grow. You learn to not take offense. You learn not to be caught up in the emotion. You are meant to learn to develop your EQ. And I thought, how interesting. So my little girl self, and I can feel it, it's a constant in the body. And the constant in the body has to eventually make its mark. Sometimes left brain, right brain, or just in the bodies or particular parts of the organs. You can measure all these different things. Me to emotionally, because you can't see sometimes that unconscious, incompetent thing we need to see, which holds the dark night of the soul. And I saw it because I was doing it right then. I was like, I don't know how to cope with this. I don't know what to do. I don't like it. I sound like Marge from The Simpsons. But I could feel it in my nervous system. And then I said, oh. And they said, notice that part of your energies are the accepted belief, and the willpower was going to that story, that particular story of my life, that particular emotions of resentment of, oh my God, I have to go through this again type of energy. And it was like, oh, so this is part of my dark night I haven't seen. I've seen it. I know it. I know it at the back of my hand. Look, that's me. But do I really, as I go to the core of this, it was as I began to do the source point healing, when I measured the nodule again, the energy was 0. My mental and emotion were balanced. My physical body started to show that it was healthy again. And I started to realize I'm reclaiming my energy instead of feeding the outcome to something I couldn't resolve. So do you understand this? If you have a particular behavior, you got to get angry all the time, or you're just like, oh, here he comes, oh God. That energy of that thinking and feeling and all of that is used in the body. And because it'll be out of alignment, we can create illnesses in the body. And when it does, you'll start noticing signs, physical signs, because you're rearranging the frequency and the energies to tell a story. All morning, I would be in alignment, feeling good. 2 seconds later, it's like I became so aware when it was like when the energy was going to that nodule, I go, oh my God, I'm coughing, or I'm like, stop. And so I'd measure, and sure enough, it was the consistent of the gallbladder, And I'm like, wow, I don't even know I'm doing it. It's like when I went to the respiratory center and they had me breathe in and breathe out because I thought I was doing it really good. He says, no, on the machine shows you that you have a 2-second delay. I didn't even know I was doing that. So it's not about looking at flaws. It's about learning things about yourself that you can't see. And it's nothing to laugh at. It's nothing to be ashamed about. And these are the steps of how you're going to become great again, how you're going to move into a healthy state. Okay? And one of the things that empaths are going to have to deal with is that when you begin to learn where the boundary is and you're like, okay, now you're controlling and understanding where your life force is going, and you're going to have to face up to the fact that your program says, hey, I raised my hand to be the asshole for this person. And they want you to show up that way, not as the person, but as their soul program, and their ego matrix says you have to, because that's what it was. And I, being in more in my spiritual authentic self, goes, oh my God, I don't like this part. I can see it so every time. Like Amy every now and then needs me to show up as her bitch. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. I also don't want to show up as her asshole. I don't want to show up as her family. I don't want to show up I want her to understand why she wants me to show up that way. I want her to pull these plugs on these matrix programs and get her power back so she can create a healthier life. Everybody does it. It's not just her, it's me, everybody. Everybody does it. But how can you wake up? How can you take yourself as an empath and learn to protect yourself? You can. You can. And even if you're not an empath, you still can protect yourself. So the more you begin to wake up, the more you actually will have a chance to grow. Does this make sense? You can do this. You literally can. So again, if you have emailed, that means you're serious, and I will take you serious. If you're in an ego program and you're stuck and you can't get out of it and you want out, you can pay for it. Now, your chances are you're going to get 8 minutes or 10. Okay. But if you pay, your name gets to go into the hope chest. And I really wish I had the picture so I could show it, but it's a hope chest. And Amy, do you have the jar of names that you're going to put in the hope chest and all that? Because I'll put you on so people can see it.
I do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring Amy on and we're going to show you. So we have this wonderful hope chest. See it? Okay.
Sure.
And so right now, open it up. There's nothing inside, right?
Well, there's some inside.
Okay, so anyways, what's in there is that we're going to throw the names in. Now, here's the names. Every time you purchase one of the shows. Now, we only got a few more days left. We're going to do this every month. Once a month, and we may do more, but Amy will take and she'll put your name on the list on this piece of paper, crunch it up so you have more chances of getting, because what she's going to do is she's going to pour it in the box, and then she's not going to look, and then Spirit is going to use her hand to feel around and, mess it up, and then me sitting, you get to sit. But if you're like, but I want to participate, I just don't want my face seen, that's fine. You also...
But it's not as scary as it's.
Now,
it's just you and Brenda. I mean, the whole world disappears.
It does. It disappears. Now, you want it to disappear because guess what? You got to take yourself serious. If you want your shit to move, you don't give a crap about anything about it because you want the answer. You want something. There are some people's names and things that they're like, but it will be one of the options that'll be last. And that is, I will do 15 minutes. Now, the reason why it's 15 minutes is because it's easier when we can have feedback. Because when you got feedback, now it's important because remember, there's a 30-second to a minute delay. So whatever I ask, and I'm still rolling, now you get it, but I'm on the next question or the next statement, and you answer that, okay? But we're looking for feedback. We're looking to get you to move into the next stage of your healthy existence. We want you to become a thriving, a spiritual human. We would like you can allow yourself to become happy again. And if you feel you can't, heal that shit out. That's what you can do. So whatever it is you're getting to face, you can change it. You can move it. I love the fact that I can be here to bring in this new information. It's not even new. It's old information. It's remembered information, but it's about how you use it and rearrange it that creates a better you. I want you to become a sustainable human. I want you to be able to, I don't even have this bells and whistles. I don't have the baba wands or this and that. That's fine. You got two hands? No, that's fine. Do you have a mind? Can you think? Yes. You got something. Just remember, the whole point of this reset of this planet is to go inward. Reset yourself. Get in touch with spirit. Get in touch with yourself. And that's part of the new job is for me to help you get into that next state. Okay. Mom and a daughter. How sweet. That's nice. Oh, from Ireland. That's wonderful. Hey, Catherine. How you doing? Ooh, New Zealand. Thank you. Yes, I like to know where you guys are from. That makes me happy because, you know, I come from Michigan, but at the same time, I live in Australia. So it's nice to see how we can, you know, where you are all from. Remember, if you happen to, you know, share the link and we see it, you may get a card. You get it in your email box. Now, if you have your email or not email, your Facebook thing, and you're like, but you don't accept friendships and like that, we may not be able to give it to you, but that's okay. But if you share it and I can see that you shared the link, I can try to do my best to get you a card there. So you may end up getting a card. Don't be surprised. Hey, Singapore. Nice. Nice. Hello. So it makes my heart melt when you can go and you can.
I've got two.
Okay, now remember, if you would like one and you don't, it's not that you're asking a particular question, I can help look at your energy and help give you a tool. So it'll probably end up being more than a minute. But if you ask just for a specific question, then you're just going to get a very, I don't know what you're going to get, but it won't be the healing aspect. So this is the healing show. So who's the first person?
Shannon Bailey.
Shannon.
And she says, the 1 minute read, please. I'm struggling to get motivated and my sleep pattern is all over the place. Okay, so here's the thing. Her sleep pattern, it's based on your circadian rhythms. You all have a body clock. And when they're out of sync, it can create a whole havoc of issues in your physical body. If you were to go to the medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, free to the healing tools, look under, I think it's HORARY, jet lag, and you'll see a chart. And it explains how to use it. You can tap certain points on your body at certain particular times that can actually begin to help your body's rhythm so you can have sleep. Now, what was her first part? I don't know. What she did is what she did towards herself. Energetically, what she did towards herself was that at 2 years old, she took the mirror, looked at herself, and has anxiety. So it's now, every time she wants to be motivated, her body has to go into a particular vibrational state in order for her not to do what she wants, but has to become a well-behaved child. I don't care how old you are, these inner child programs do this. So if I were to look, and Yep. It's so this one you would heal differently. But it is what she stored it in her heart. So her heart brain, there's a brain in your heart. Your heart brain is out of sync. And so you need a heart brain coherence. Okay. There's a lot of things we can do. But for you, if you wanted to do it free, you just kind of like maybe notice that if you can recognize the anxiety and go, even though I have anxiety, you're going to use emotional freedom technique, points on your fingers. And the humming and the counting will help balance the brain and help get the pictures out of your brain. And I should say the mind, because the brain doesn't store, it's not a computer. But at the same time, you can make major differences in your... Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to ask Spirit. Now, because it's healing day, we'll see what happens. Days out, sometimes it has to do with a triggered memory of that particular person on the other side. Now, when it comes to the other side, you have 10. They said you've always done that. And like, you're not sure exactly how to commingle with certain people, and you will begin to resonate and match. It's not that you're deliberately matching and trying to say, okay, they're crossing their legs, they're doing this. It is energetically, you are feeling around to see if people are in a bad mood, you put yourself in a bad mood. If people are in a good mood.
Is Lisa Collette.
And
just general.
Okay, Lisa Collette. Now, so I am assessing what's going on, and what energy was is that towards yourself, you contract your energy. So you have an aura that goes out. If you put your arms out the full length of that is your aura. Okay. Yours is like really close to the body. It's really close to the body, especially. And what happens when the energy does that is when you have people that are really in their ego, and to keep yourself safe. The problem now is that it's getting uncomfortable feeling. And they're saying that when you do this energy towards yourself, it's because the environment feels unstable. And they're saying this you started doing when you were 3. And now that you're older, they're saying that you are beginning to develop that you don't want to do that anymore, which is going to start creating physical funny feelings. I don't know if you're aware, but you're totally triggered when you hear criticism. Next.
Patty.
Hi, Patty. I can't remember what. Patty wrote me something. I can't remember what it was, Patty. Oh, let me see if I can remember. I don't know if I can pull it up or not, but it'd be great if it did. More details and go into a certain direction. So that is important to understand about, see, like I got to know Patty to help you move past, to grow, develop. And there are tools that begin to help you in a certain way. And you get to grow. So my readings are a little different. And your future reading is usually about how you do anything is how you do everything. So it's going to show up. There is the problem with that, because you want to move forward and you want to change. Now, some people just change in the mental mind, but they don't change it from the heart, or they don't change it in certain things. They haven't let go of a particular pattern.
Eckhart Tolle.
What about it?
That's what Patty said, what she had sent you.
No, I thought there was something. I swear I saw something. And it is, Patty has a habit that needs to be addressed. And it is pain. So she's taking, and there's a particular emotion that's feeding her body to behave a certain way. And if I ask, if we're talking about, they're saying one thing in particular, so you're feeding your body, so your energies will get thrown off. The energies, the gallbladder is feeding it, and the large intestine meridian are feeding it. Those two are feeding. And they said the particular emotion, behavior pattern that you do is that, so Patty, here's the tough part. Do you blame and not know you blame, or the way you use your words, do you know if you blame? Because when you get that, showing up physically so you can see it. So do pay attention to that. And they said that when you begin to notice this, see, I would start correcting it with source point healing, but see it, hear it, and all about blame. So R3D, right wrist, third position, and deep. Okay. Just double checking to make sure anybody is paid and see what happens. You gotta keep on track of these things. Okay. Is there anybody else?
Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. How are you? Is that your energy is feeding you to be in that state. So if I look, your triple warmer and your gallbladder are both going there. And if I ask for a particular way of thinking and feeling and reacting, they said that you're looking for something. You put all that time and energy into looking, and that has given you the safety and security to move out of the life you've had and started into the new one. But now you need to start to take that energy, and even though you're looking, you need now to remember how you used to be motivated. Because when you're looking, you're motivated to look. Learn that. When you use that as to give you your comedic flair, fuel for how to be a comedian, all of this, you are motivated to do those things. But if you're saying you're not motivated to, and they said if you could learn how to capture that, you could put it in a new direction and a new way of looking at it, maybe re-asking spirit to show me, okay, because you're looking for where to go, what to do, whatever it is that you're seeking, and capture that motivated feeling, because we do things in step. Neuro-linguistic programming can teach you that. All right.
I was witnessing a mirror. Can I please have a 1 minute on anything spirit wants to come through?
Yes. Okay. Now I'm getting back to the right screen. Okay, Miss Betty. So as I'm looking at this, they said, very good. Notice that your energy goes into is your energy feeds into, I can't figure it out. But as you're beginning to wake up, it is still feeding it to some degree. Now, if I'm looking, how many meridians are playing then? Your spleen, your stomach, the earth aspect. And it is why you're going to, I can't figure it out, is because you don't want to go to, I failed. That is a little girl at 6. You were like, that was the worst thing. You remember Parent Trap, right? Well, as a child tries to solve their issues, whether it's between two parents fighting, or it is about trying to make a happier place, and you really felt as a child that if I did this, this is the result I would get. Your expectation of a particular end result didn't come to pass like the little 6-year-old wanted. And therefore, she done something. Emotional quotients is the feeling that you can't get past it. Okay? So every time, here's what you're going to do, is that you're going to do a 1 minute thought processing. You're going to, when you feel a certain way, you're going to get your timer out. And you're going to hit the timer, but you don't turn it on until you get into a state. And you're going to get a pen and a paper, have it before you, and you're going to listen to the 41 thoughts per minute. Now, you have to get into a state, because if you're trying to focus, you have to really relax the brain, breathe, give an count of 5 counts in, 5 counts out, nice and steady. Do a couple rounds of that. Get ready, push the timer, and then drift. Sometimes you may be able to do a 2 minute, but if you just drift, you'll be able to notice where your thoughts are darting. Do. That tells you that's where your energy is going. And once you start to pay attention to those thoughts and what's happening, you'll also notice that if you're observing, you may not run wild. But if your energy is in high beta, you'll begin to notice how one thought will be feeding another thought to support and feed the other thought. And so then you can escalate to the next crappy state that you need to feel, because you're like, oh my God, he said this. Okay, oh my God, and then and you really fall for the story that's there. Once you've done that, you then, the timer will ring, take note. Now, sometimes people get really surprised that the first 20 seconds, they're like, oh my God, yeah. So they just go in and write stuff down. That's fine too. But once you begin to become aware, you are then going to be able to stand back more into your spirituality and notice how you apply that, what it's all about, and what is the particular feeling that you have. From class, you have an alarm. So it's a triple warmer, has one, and then you have alarm. So the triple warmer source point, you can go through that, rub them, clear them out, and then go to the alarm and do that, and then heal it out. Okay. But I'm going to give you one more answer to one thing in particular. And they're saying you can do this anytime, before or after, but I want you to focus and say left brain, and then you're going to rub LU. Look for the number, look at the source point chart. You're going to do it 30 times, only on the left side. Now, how you're going to measure this is notice the mental and emotional thought on the left side. And then you'll have to do one more, which you have to then go into LI. Okay. You should be able to feel the difference.
And she says, can you please tell me what you can pick up will happen now between me and my ex-partner, and what you can see? Thank you very much, Katie.
Okay. And hello from Texas. Wonderful. Love that. Now, you're welcome, Betty. Now, understand that if your ex is an ex, he's an ex for a reason. What haven't you learned? And why? Now, just because, now here's the thing. If you feel lonely, don't go back to the ex because you feel lonely. If you have low self-esteem, don't go back to your ex because you have low self-esteem. Now, somebody says it's about forgiving and learning. Both of you have done things, and both of you have been learning and playing this game back and forth for you to love. And you open up your heart. But there is a pattern. Because when you do that, you go into that same old love pattern. Love equals, and that's what you have to answer. The two individuals, are they going to grow together? Or are they going to grow separately? But that is what's happening with the ex. And one of you is not going to keep an open mind of this. So chances are, as you begin to grow, will you stay together? And they're saying that eventually you're going to learn how to put things together, and you could go down the wedding aisle. Just because if you were to start paying attention that you're working on the relationship, you can lead down that road. Next.
Julie. I hope you both are safe and well at this crazy time. I was wondering if I could have a free 1 minute read on my fear and what to do, please. Thank you so very much.
Okay. You only know your fear, but usually we'll have a whole bunch of fears. Now, I'm going to look at this. And what I see is that when people, you, them, others, you do it toward yourself. So when you are dealing with your safety, you will turn towards yourself, and then you'll create and become afraid of your own erratic behavior. This is, could be mood swings. It could be happy and then negative. You could be, or it could be from a mild anger to violent. So you have to look at how you treat yourself when you feel that you're not safe. Then you have to notice that the people around you you start to feel small. You start to contract that energy. Okay. Sometimes you don't feel compatible, and then the person that you feel compatible with is someone that actually could do harm to you. So notice how that this child part of you has acted, because the 1-year-old had to learn how to cope, deal, and manage and pacify what was going on at the time. The best way to deal with that fear is to begin to notice how you've stored it in your heart. Are you more of a talkative person? Are you somebody that feels that you're fanatical? You have to focus on one thing and you become mad about it. You just got to do it. And these usually are signs that we have stored a particular pattern of experiences and how we captured them into the heart. So they're saying if you can begin to take your left wrist, put your thumb there, finger here, wrap those around, push in deep, and do this, and think about all that I said. Put it on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being, oh, yes, I identify with this. This is what it is. I can feel it. I can stare at it. And then eventually that number is going to come down. But if you don't know what that is, you turned it toward yourself because you didn't know how to handle this. So as you begin to turn to look outward instead of punishing yourself or, giving yourself new orders, begin to heal that pain out of how you know it. You can move into a different direction of seeing things a little differently, because they said you also need to do Wayne Cook. You feel this. They said, notice that when you throw that erratic energy at yourself and give yourself instructions what to do, your energy, you spill your own colors on the floor, which means look at picking yourself up. That's the healing tool at the website. Picking yourself up. This is actual energy of you that gets spilled, and we can see it as color. And don't pretend like you go, don't look down and go, oh, all I see is carpet. Close your eyes and just imagine the feeling of your energy loss, and then say, what colors have I lost? Then look down with your eyes closed, and you'll be surprised at what happens. No, Catherine, her phone died. At least she's back. So let me look here. Anything else? Okay, Ames, next.
Nothing seems to work. It's almost as if my intestines are paralyzed. This all started a few months ago, and I don't know what happened. Thanks.
Are you here? Which room are you in? And if you are there, I want to extend out an invitation. And what was her name again? Bobby. All right, Bobby, if you are here and you're serious that you want to change your world, be in charge of your world, get a chance to tap into that innate, if you're using a phone, on a computer, you just get Zoom. Then you say join meeting, and this is the number. Is that the number, Amy? I think that's the number.
Number.
Yeah, so that is the number. So notice the number up above.
And it's also in the pinned comment.
Good. It's in the pinned comment as well. So I would like to do just a little bit more than just answer that, but I will give her a few minutes. If she does not come on or she does not respond, then I will answer that. Just remember to come back to that, Amy, please.
I write her name so I won't forget. Okay. Jess, she's wanting an aura read, and it's her birthday today.
Happy birthday. Wonderful. So you have several people that are, 4 people that are on the other side. They got party hats, the blowers and streamers and clapping hands. So people over there are saying, happy birthday, Bobby. What we're going to do is we're going to look at what she asked just for energy. What'd she say? My brain just stopped because I'm listening to the party.
At her aura.
Oh, aura, yeah. Okay, so inside the aura, now understand what I'm looking at is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th one. Yeah, it's I think people can hurt me. So take a look at, was there any point in your life that you felt that somebody could hurt you, or that you could be hurt, whether it's through words or through physical or I don't know, internet. I mean, can you be hurt? Because the energy cord, now, as I'm following that energy coming back, you believe this at 5, when I think it had to do with kindergarten. You just felt like when kids would grab the toy because they just treated you like an it, you know. And the energy that comes back to you is that towards yourself, you're supposed to be mean towards yourself. That, as I do that, I can see this energy on the left-hand side affecting the 6th chakra and the 2nd chakra. So energetically, the reading of the energy comes through. Now, as I'm looking, it's based on how the outside had erratic energy. You jumped. You didn't know how to respond to that. So my body is telling me that without you knowing it, you may have a particular emotions that cause you to lose your power. So your life force goes into studying self-imposed limitations, so you don't do certain things, so you won't react, or so you won't go there. And what does that mean? It means that your body or your brain, any part of you, begins to lack the life force it needs to move forward. So, but it's feeding over here. Again, I'm going back into this left-hand corner of the aura, and it says that you have suppressed your behavior so that people would not see how you really felt. It's starting to come to the surface. That moment developed as the yin, it was the yang. And if we look at the yang energy and we ask the yang energy, where is it on its growth pattern? And it is, again, the yang side, because now my body is saying you're losing a lot of power. That's what you're doing to these external forces. Well, I find that very interesting, because you gave yourself a set of instructions in order to survive. Now, the card that came up very specifically is the 8 of Forces, but it's in reverse. The lightning bolt is the card, just so that you understand, but it's in reverse. It says, I could read, this is an exceptional time of dynamic forces of energy. You have suffered a loss, but the storm is dispersing. Some cleanup might be required. But it's time to set down new roots, to seek new ground and new growth. Apply your energy to wherever compels you now. So take that energy out of that self-imposed limitation and stop feeding it and feeling that I have to behave a certain way. I have to do the same things. Literally, they want you to take your power back so that your body can be what particular emotion that you need to know that shows that you set that self-imposed limitation is that it's injustice. So somebody's entered the room. What is this all about? It wants to bark back at life. I have to attack. I got to be a good girl. I have to comply. Your body is beginning to attack yourself. Have we heard anything from Bobby? Yes, I'm here. Going to download Zoom now. Awesome.
Pilly is our next 1 minute.
Mama says it's time to stop and smell the roses. Oh, she's caught. Did you hear that? There's a movie in that one. Which movie is that? Don't know. Oh, all of a sudden I heard it's a box of chocolates too. So how many movies are you going to start doing, my lady? She says, oh, I got 3. What do you want? 3? Now notice what she's doing to herself. She said, I like your hair. She says, you're finding more safety, which is great. But you're still not looking at your auto response, that pilot, because there are days that all of a sudden you don't pay attention and you want to start to cry. And she says, your mama is right here. Okay, I don't know why. And she says it's time. She's tapping me. She says, if you could grab left wrist, first position, put your thumb there, nice and deep, put your finger in your palm, and then just cry and feel the pain. Put it on a scale from 0 to 10. Notice the thoughts, notice the emotion. It literally will begin to change. And she says, and then you'll be able to hear me better. She says, I won't haunt you, don't worry. Anyway, so we're waiting for Miss Bobby, which is going to be exciting. I have no idea what Spirit has for her, but we will see. Remember, me and my husband are going to go through, and maybe I might, we'll see. You hit love button up there, or if you shared, because we're going to look and see if we can find who shared, and we will decide. Even if you do it a bunch of times, we'll get to decide. Maybe one card, two, or just one. We don't know. It's hard to determine. We're going to do random. We're going to let Spirit pick. So I do know it will be with this video and maybe other future videos. So if you want an extra card to, let it creep in, and, some people notice a few days later, hey, yeah, perfect. Then that's what will happen. If, yes. So yes, the Spirit just is like, shut up, take the next one. Yes. Happy birthday, Jess. Happy birthday, Jess. Okay, you got somebody here that wants to sing to you. La, 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 dun, dun, dun. Not a very good singer. Not a very good. I was resisting that, and somehow it snuck in. Okay.
You can't keep birthday attitude in it. It's like fingers on a chalkboard. Anyway.
I didn't even sing it correctly either. I just know that they snuck the word in, and I was like, yeah, I want to be resisting. It's like, it still came out. That's all right.
Okay, this is from Kevin.
Kevin.
I'd like to ask what I made you to connect with my higher self, because I swear I don't. Doesn't matter what kind of guided meditation I do, I get zilch.
Okay, so this is why I do the classes I do. Kevin, we're going to get there. Amy, have you decided that you think that you are more connected to your higher self ever since you started these courses and healings?
Yeah, I am. I don't hear it per se, but things, stick out like a sore thumb that, oh, okay, that's why that makes the connection.
And eventually you're going to get there. Now, the one thing that yes, you are connected to your higher self, but you have distrust. And the one thing that is if you say you're going to keep your word and you don't, then your higher self says, look, you don't keep your word. I mean, what it's telling you is that you have to keep the commitment, be devoted to that particular moment in that past life. And you have to take action. Remember, you were a warrior monk. Well, not really a warrior. You had no choice. You had to protect. So there's a party that's like, I'm a little bit petrified to really listen.
Where
to go?
Offering. Okay, no. She just doesn't have a picture.
Okay, now what's interesting is that Amy's picture disappeared. It says that I clicked and admitted Bobby. Okay.
Yeah, she's here.
I cannot see her anywhere. I can't even click on anything, so I have no idea where she's at.
I don't know if you gave me permissions, if I could unmute her.
All right, what I'm going to do is I will go in this direction. I have to go here, since I think it's quite interesting. We will do this, Amy. Here's permission. See if you can let her in. Going to be a surprise all around.
Bobby, can you hear us?
Yes, I can see both of y'all.
How awesome is that? Well, Amy, can you by chance change the gallery? Oh, no, that'd be just on your end, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what if I do? No. I thought maybe if
I see Amy now. Now I see you.
I got it. Okay, so now.
Except, would you like to allow video or no.
So can you see on the down left-hand corner? Can you see video?
There should be a camera.
Okay. Okay.
Click on that.
Yay!
Hey.
We got it. Okay. Now, you were saying that you had, hold on, I gotta, okay. Yeah, I'm drifting in, I'm picking up, just give me a second I feel like I want to turn yellow. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Well, it's been a problem for years, but for the past 2 months, I've been in and out of the hospital with it, and doctors. And
have they said anything? Well, like, give me a name.
Well, they told me I had a bowel blockage.
It's just a blockage.
And so they started a bunch of medication with that, but I just think there's something else going on.
Yeah, there is. I just want to make sure. I'm looking at your aura. I'm looking at where's energy lost. Now, I don't know if you guys can see how yellow I've already become. That tells me I'm looking at her energy field, and my body is, so. And as I look at this, okay, now what happens with the right brain? When the right brain's, is it over? It's under. Let me ask you, have you had any depressions or any of that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to find out, did your bowels, were they over first? No, they were under. So let me tell me, left brain's not bad. Right brain is this. Okay. And it's about something towards yourself. Now, what happens is that your body is trying to help you understand that you had to have to cope with. How old are you, my dear?
41.
Okay. So when you were 4, you're trying to tell me there's another person. When you saw somebody that was 24, so when you were 4, you saw somebody that was 24 act a certain way. And I'm asking, what way is that? They're saying that they had erratic energies. They could have been violent. They could have been just emotional upset. We don't know exactly how that looks. And they said, but towards yourself, you got scared. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When that happened, they said it's got stuck in the large intestine, and you feel is that the overwhelm happened at 4 years old. It created an arrested development. So your life force is saying that I have to give that moment a lot of my energy. So I now, when I'm around certain people that display that, I have to go irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel,
makes sense.
okay, good. And since again, this is a duplicate pattern. Now, over time, your body now has to display how you have to take your life force and feed that particular thing. So your intestines are the ones that's getting fed. And you're thinking, well, it should be a good thing, but not if it's in the emotions and that experience. And so you're part of that blockage. Now I'm going to say what's causing an energy that your life force keeps doing and storing into your small intestine. The large intestine said that I know what rejection is. I know what invalidating is. So that keeps feeding it. So your life force accepts, give this the energy, and therefore your the story gets to be played out. But now your large intestine ends up not having this particular flow. It has to keep feeding the story. So I'm asking Spirit, now what? And they said, well, do you have problems with people that are really in ego?
Yes.
Okay, notice her whole news feed. I got all good stuff. You look at somebody else's news feed and it's all about coronavirus, it could be upset. Look at the political crap. And how did mine get to be like that? It's because I'm choosing, okay? And the more shit I heal, literally, the more I will draw to me good stuff. So you can't help, based on this little self, is drawing these type of energy into your space. Okay.
Mhm.
So every time you think that you're okay, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to focus on this, I'm going to do this. But if you don't take care of ask is, you're going to tell me something else. So do you sacrifice? Do you martyr? Do you, like, let's say you're watching TV and you're like really into the good part and they're not really into it, but they're like, I'm hungry or I'm this and that. Come on. And you're like, okay.
17.
Okay. Now understand that also that energy feeds that. And that's part of what you're supposed to see, because when you were that young, you had to start doing just that. Somehow you had to be the martyr for that energy in that space. Okay. Your body is saying, oh my God, we're still running this, but you're getting tired.
Very.
I mean, your intestine is saying, okay, I have one more day. And I said, what is she really focusing on? That besides everything that she said, what is she really focusing on? Is that you know how to make yourself irrelevant. There are days that you need to make yourself more irrelevant so you don't have to show love. See? But it's not that means you don't know how to do love. It's just that love now means that I have to be a servant. Love now means that I have to be a martyr. Love now means this. So I know you figured that out at 4 years old. If I show them I love them, maybe, and now you're gotten to the point where you've indebted constantly doing this. You're kind of like saying, you know what, I need to draw the line because now, and this is what's called karmic imbalance.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
And so it creates this major block. All this can be healed. You just have to take the steps. And I'll say, okay, how would you like her to take the steps? And they go, well, one, she needs to start correcting her brain. And they said the right brain is always doesn't really have that energy to be able to do stuff. So if I said, well, where do we want to do something on the right side? Okay, so in the kidney meridian is saying that you're so good at making yourself an it. Like right now it's an I, and a me, and a you. Okay. But if I really didn't want to, I'd say, this girl here has an issue, we're going to, and didn't make yourself an it. You did it too, so they'd love you. Now you're like, I need to hide at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So you got two things trying to control you, and you're like, blah. Does this make sense?
Totally.
Excellent. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask Spirit, how would you like her to begin to heal herself? Okay. Now, I want you, we can kind of measure already how you feel. You mentally, emotionally, physically. 10 is like usually the worst. How do you feel physically? And I'm really looking at the color differences. I'm trying to figure out why I need to really notice the color difference on myself for you. A lot of red, a lot of yellow. I'm going to have to say liver, but it's about the way the kidneys are not pumping. We're going to get there. Just a second. I have to relearn this one. Okay. So now they're saying physically blah, mentally blah.
Just mentally, yeah.
Okay.
Exhausted. Really.
Exhausted. Good. And it's nice and high. So we're going to do this. Now, what I need you to do you want her to use a magnet? No. Okay, so all you're going to do is oops. That's okay. Spirit caught me. I'm good. Okay, so now tell me if you can see this picture. Okay, can you see this all right here? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so notice that it's on the inside part of your leg. So you're big. Now get in there and rub it. Good 30 times for me. Ooh, now that already starts changing the teeth. I can feel that. Very good. Now you're going to notice that you're going to go to the pinky, so the outside of the leg, and you're going to see that bone again, but this time you're going to go in front of it. And it'll feel like a hollow. It's like a dip in hollow. Yeah. Okay, so get in there only on the right side and rub that a good 30 times. Ooh, I felt that shift.
Your color has come back too.
It's getting there. Getting there. And I can feel the energy actually going up into this point here. Where did I lose my spleen? There it is. You're going to go on the inside of the right, and there's the bone that sticks out that looks like where the bunions would be. You're just going to go just a little bit more toward the instep, okay? And you're going to, you can't miss it. It's number 3 and 4, but get in there and rub that one too. Now, any of these spots, so I'm going to look. Now that the brain is balanced, we're going to now take and look for the frozen spot. The frozen aspect. Now, do you have a, because you may not have a refrigerator magnet, you can get that later. Right now, we're going to use our hand, okay? They said the first thing that's frozen is the large intestine. Now, this, you're going to do both hands, but this, where these two bones come together, you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think you have to go up a little bit where you can feel the bone come together. There, can you feel it? Where they meet? Okay, so you're going to take your hand and you're going to do both sides. So just pick one. And you're going to take your hand and use palm, then the back, the palm and the back. Just do it a few more times and I'll tell you when it's done it, because there, now you've done it. Now I want you to just take and I want you to push in and lift off for me, okay? Oh, still frozen. All right, I want you to do it a few more times. Now I'm going to see if I can change. You keep doing that. I'm my magnets here. I'm going to see if I can get your body to copy me. All I'm doing is using a magnet. Use more of the back of the hand so that you really, there you go. Okay, so now push, let go. There, we got it. Now, give it a good rub. Well, yeah, give that one a good rub 30 times. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other hand, okay? This is going to help unlock the large intestine meridian. Ooh. I hope you can feel it, because like, ooh, I just felt that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep doing that. Very good. Keep going. That one is not as bad. It's almost there. Like it to be. Again, you're going to end up using your magnet later, but let's just do a few more, okay? Just do a few more and see what happens. All you watching, if you think that people can benefit from this, start going and tell them about it. Join groups that have physical issues. Hey, talk to them. Put it out there. Promote it. Tell people. There, got it. Okay, let's pinch again. Very much better. Now, get in there and rub that one a good 30 times. Tight, but it is. I mean, the best way to describe that, I guess. Ooh.
Yeah, I feel it through my back and down and
The
my
energy
leg and down.
Yep, it's getting there. Now I'm going to check one more point, and another point that's frozen, and I'm not surprised, is a small intestine. So just the same process we did before, but the spot, now understand that we need to go up with a karate pot. It's kind of, you feel a hole. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Put your hand, remember, really use the back. Good. Do that good. Keep going. So when you cough, or when you're eating, do you cough a lot or anything? Do you have indigestion? Okay, that's because of the small intestine. When the food tries to meet, the energy's not there. It starts to, ooh, there's a nice shift. Okay, do me a favor. Touch that point and let go. Very good. Maybe just do a couple more. Just do a couple more, because your electromagnetic energy's been off. And even though your body's mirroring me, your body wants to know it can do it there. You just did it. Okay, pinch again and let go. Very good. Let's do the other side. Yeah, you got nothing. So, just start to do that. Somebody from New York. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we'll get to you, George. Oh, it's almost there. It's only a 4. Keep going. But that's interesting because now I have more airflow going into my spine, my back area.
I've had a lot of unexplainable just pain.
And my teeth hurt right now, but the energy is finally moving up to my Almost there. Now, I have to admit, I can take a nice deep breath now. I mean, literally here, I don't know. That's why I said if you could actually reassess yourself, because you said you felt blah, but how do you feel now?
Better. I mean, I'm being serious. My body has felt.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was feeling back there. That's a good way. Yes. Where are we going? Okay, so now, because what your body was doing was that I don't know how, and that 4-year-old says, I don't know how to change it. And therefore, your body said, okay, over time, if we put you in a position where you're forced, a bitch slap, that other people have to show up to help you. Now, they're saying, just notice, are you frozen where you can't receive or you don't know how to communicate? You know, this is what you're going to do. Now, before I'm aware, number one. Number two, if you feel frozen, understand you'll need more of my help or classes and things to help you get past that. Use a resolving tool. But if you get somebody that wants to throw a tantrum, regardless of how old they are, you want to notice how much energy you freeze, but at the same time, you actually lose energy and your body gets up and starts robotically doing what they ask. And your brain's like, sit down, woman. Okay. You want to go to my website and look for the healing tool under picking yourself up. Okay. Another one that would be good for you, because in order for you to function with other humans, your body assesses, is it safe? Is it safe? And it sucks in the energy. Now, I want you to look under Celtic Weave, Connecting Heaven and Earth, and Hookup. Okay. Because we want to kick those energies out and we want to hold our space, because when these meridian is down, you become very vulnerable and paranoid. And this erratic energy knows how to put you right into that state and your whole body starts to respond that way. But with this healing that you just did, I don't know how long it's going to go back to the old way, but that's why I said you're going to use that magnet a little bit more, because your child part of you had been frozen. We haven't gone back and healed the inner child. Very good. And witness. I can't express this enough, because your brain later on will go, well, maybe that didn't happen. So you need to write it down, talk about it, so that you can say, wait a minute, I did it once, I can do it again. And when you begin to train yourself to see this, then the universe begins to reward you and graduate you so that you don't have to go back to sleep. You don't have to go back to old habit. You get to train yourself to go into a new way, because the brain only works by prediction. And if you give it new information, it's going to be able to predict better. It's going to be able to help you better. It's like what mine does. But just just start off with that. That's a lot of information right there, and begin to track yourself. And you can always, I do private appointments if needed. Okay. So the more time you buy, the cheaper it is, but you're worth every penny to yourself. And I feel like all of a sudden there's this ray of not feeling so hopeless or helpless. And I want you to hold on to that. Is like, no, I know there's an answer. You wouldn't be here if you didn't think so. So,
right.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for.
No, thank you. That was amazing. Like I said, I've been dealing with this for a long time, and just doing that, and I will continue to do those.
Okay.
And of course, get in there and get you, so I can do private readings or with you, but
the charting, you feel better?
Like I feel nothing in my back right now. Nothing.
Excellent. You did all the work. Just let you know, your innate healing listened. You did it.
Yeah.
If you can leave me a review, that would be good. If you could just kind of, put the word out, that'd be great. The charting of now what I gave you, it just will be no more, and you'll see another set of energies that will be different. That's why you have to learn how to measure, understand yourself. So do you feel as blah? The way you could explain it, but do you feel as blah?
No.
So
No.
less blah or no blah?
Less.
I
guess I also just hope that,
okay.
that this can be fixed. And
exactly. Now I'm all about wanting to go to zero so that it doesn't have to go back up. And if I had more time, I would definitely say I would love to get rid of the blah altogether. And I'm asking Spirit, do you want me to do anything else? And they go, no, she needs to become aware of how she freezes when she does action. Because they're saying if you watch this and, use some tools, there's other tools that'll get you out of it faster. But this is your beginning steps. That's what we'll do. And for now. Okay? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I got to tell you, my nickname when I was little was Bobby. So.
Oh.
As soon as I heard it, it's like, oh, yeah, I think I'm supposed to take her on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, honey. Stay blessed.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was good. I like that. That was very good. George, let's see. George says, hello from New York. I am a medium, clairvoyant, empath in training. I can feel, see, and hear spirits, but I don't really know how to deal with it. I have been self-taught. I'm always learning how to read tarot. Well, and that's good. You're constantly learning. You're constantly putting yourself into doing what you love. When it comes to don't really know how to deal with it. Okay. There's a lot of way we can go, but I'm going to find the best route for you because there's a lot of things that you have to So understand we all go through what's called the imposter phase. And some people never get out of it. Einstein, Maya Angelou, she did the same thing. These people sometimes, and they're great successors, and great. They're doing, but they still feel like an imposter. And when you hold it, you actually block yourself from really getting into that ability because of the naysayers, what other people think. And or what that one person thought. And as you're seeking and looking for that acceptance with them, people, they're not in that state. I don't know if they're going to really be in that state. But you have to get over it, heal it, because that's why they're there. That's what the opportunity is for. Miami, Florida. Wonderful. Okay, any other emails so we can address them? No, we're good. Okay, I'm going to double check. So if nobody's paid, and then we can. Okay, so nobody wants a healing today, or if they do, they can't afford it, or they're in that lockdown mode. All right. Understand that people really are learning to turn inward and learning to calm the mind and grow and move forward. By doing so, we are by April going to launch something that has to do with the Medicine Woman Solution tribal unit or tribal. I haven't decided if it's a tribal unit or group. We'll see. And this gives you an opportunity. It is a paid, so that I have a feeling there's 3 different levels, but the paid means that you're serious. You want to do it, and then I forward. Okay, because if you really just for those that really want to put the energy into it and then take the energy out, and there has to be this reciprocity, because giving doesn't do me anything good on this planet. We have moving into a green energy field through this planet, which means there's going to be a lot of difference in thinking and feeling and acting, along with balancing more of who we are. Somebody is losing power out there. Now, this is where, if whoever's here that didn't get a read and wants a read, all you have to do is just say right now, because if you haven't sent an email, then just say, I would like a read. And I will do an energy read to check out your, who you are, what your body, any of that stuff. Learning to use your third eye. You have to learn to understand your knowing, George, because if you don't understand your knowings, now this I haven't even taught in my class yet, but there are different forms of knowing, and that the levels of the knowing is what's actually going to help you develop your ability. But if you are having fear in any particular block, then you're always going to get more misses than hits or wins. But the best thing to do is focus on the hits. Focus on, hey, that's what I've done. Because if you're a type of person that focuses on the misses and then you go and denigrate yourself, you're then kind of like going backwards and having to start all over again. Like people say, oh, I want to do what you're doing. But then they look at you like, what, you can't read cards? That's not my gift. So you're going to zero in on what you like, what is your gift, have spirit help sculpt you to the area. And you're going to learn how to build that filing cabinet in the brain that's going to allow you to be an exceptional healer, reader, psychic, medium, whatever you want to call yourself. First person is Catherine. Miss Catherine. Oh, it's funny. You still got jet lag going on inside your body. So you need to go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com and look under the healing tool, HORARY, jet lag, horror jet lag. And you're going to have to follow the instructions so you can start getting your body to become balanced. And when you got the next part of Catherine is that you have to learn to take action and expand your energy. How so? So there's a part of you up expectations, and I don't know what the lull is, because if you're already giving up expectations, what's going on there? They're saying that your energy sometimes you're facing an arrested development. That would make sense, Catherine. You definitely are going to need to make an appointment. Because the biggest thing is you have this fear of judgment. You can be a strong ass person, but then there's what you really want to some degree is that, so it is that relationship with the Mr. So-and-so. Mr. So-and-so are playing out that 3-year-old story. So you're at the next level of clearing. Philippa Dempsey, I would like a reading. So you're rambled, Philippa. So if you were trying to read something, you stumble over your words, or you can't comprehend what you're doing, you need to get the two halves to communicate. As you begin to do so, it says, begin to notice, was there ever, how many did you have? Just one? You had a hysterical moment in your life, and that was at 3 years old. And that somehow affects the way you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself. Just so you understand, a hysterical moment needs to be cleared. A hysterical moment, like my mother, when I heard she had cancer, it was like, what? I rejected reality. And I went deaf, and I'm like, my nervous system, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, if you haven't cleaned that out, you will end up being in a particular position where your body will start showing that hystericalness is going to help to some degree. If you feel like you've had those hysterical moments, you may want to do just the, oh my God, healing tool, measure it, bring it down. Now the classes, we're going to get them out. Right now it's putting it together. I would like to have PDFs and videos. It may not happen. It may be a live class they haven't told me much except for with the pilot class, they have had an actual set, even though it looks random. It's not. They have an intention to wake them up, each little peaks. And Amy can testify to that. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's a lull day. No, you have to get the experience. You have to do this. The classes, once we start to announce them, you will be moving into that space. You have to talk to me. It'll be on my website. We'll have probably a PayPal. Then we're going to have to teach you how to muscle test and do pendulum, which then you'll have probably learning the basics of that, then troubleshooting to make sure that you're perfect. So we'll have to have clinicals. Let's see what else. Developing your ability. When you do identifying your authentic self and you do these healing tools, what happens is that you start to develop your authenticity, which means you start to develop your intuition like almost automatically, because it starts to kick into what you're supposed to trust, what you're supposed to, and where you're supposed to go. And you start to break out of the dark night of the soul. Now, I feel like that has to be a particular course as well. You have to first know what it is and how to break out of it. But that also hooks into identifying your authenticity. To find the, you go on the business page. My business page, my fan page will have under services, and under services you will see where you can make an appointment, how much time. Now, each one is labeled different, but that's just about time. However you're supposed to show up to me, and we're going to work on whatever it is you want, whatever the soul wants to work on. So it doesn't matter. It's about the length of time and the availability. If you are in another part of the state and you're like, I can't fit her hours, that's fine. That is where then you inbox me and say, I'd like to have it, but I'm not sure. And I'll give you a time calculator so you can actually begin to see what time you can go, oh, she's available at 11 a.m. That for me would be, and again, the time calculator would show you what time that is for you and what state you're in or what country you're in. And that way you can find out how to, I mean, you can just look at the world clock time calculator and time converter or something like that. And, but I work with you. This is what I do. So it's pretty much cheap. We are also coming up with my accountant has come up with blocks, which means you can buy 6 sessions for, you're already getting it cheap already, because the more time you get, the less it costs. But if you buy them in certain blocks, then you can actually.
There's a couple more people that.
Excellent.
Matthias, I would love a read, please.
All right, Matthias. Now remember, if you're new, please like the page. If you haven't tuned in until just now, understand that me and my husband, we're looking for shared links, and we'll give you a card or the love button, and we give you a card. And spirits. Interestingly, how I do my other shows, the awkwardness feeling that sits inside your gut, actually. When you begin to feel that, you go into judgment, the right and wrong for yourself. The sneezing. What's the sneezing? The sneezing is about if I make myself. So the awkwardness is, this is how your body. Oh, it's like an inappropriate laughing. Okay, so your body will begin to body. Yeah, there are particular habits that you do that actually start to put up a particular wall. Now, they said this was based on when you were 2 years old, you had low self-esteem about how to really develop your social skills. And the weird feeling that's like, okay, go on. It's like when somebody says, oh, give so-and-so a hug, give so-and-so a kiss. And you're like, oh. And that has put you in a feeling of, it's not about you can't trust as much as, how do I trust myself? Because you still feel like you have to do the right thing or do what you're told. And that program keeps kicking in. Hopefully that makes sense.
Kristen, hi, I'm first time. Love to have a reading, please, and thank you.
Now, Kristen, your energy, life force is feeding something in your body. So if you have a condition in your body, that's happening. And as I'm looking, I'm noticing that it's about, the first thing it does is that when not consciously, but physically, your body says, I feel a little insecure. When it begins to feel a little insecure, it actually is saying to you, ooh, somebody's going to manipulate you. Now, is that true? No, but it was when you were 6. And so your body says, ooh, that's my sign. So this is what you call like a paralyzed intuition, because you're using it based on borrowed facts from a past, but that's not the wisdom that you wanted from it. But that is how you cope, handle, and deal that moment. And if I look a little further, they said that the security is that you used to have overbearing energy, not you, but people at you. And you have mirror conscious, is that you don't know if you're overbearing or not. Maybe you do, but there's that energy. If you can understand what overbearing feels like. Whew. Now, I feel like somebody's constantly has to tell you the facts, work it, to persuade, to get you to fall in line, to get me already is what they're saying. But really what they want you to do is get past your stubbornness and do what they want, so that they can feel better and their consciousness is clear. And they said that, but this is how they cope, handle, and deal and pacify with their issue. But somehow, how interesting is that? Okay. Donald. Oh, Donald. Because the pain, and I'm going to tell, oh, we're all over the place. Wow. Whew. You got 2 people from the other side that are here, and one is the representative of another right now. I got a sticky note that says that there's habits that you feel. And there's this habitual fear that it's hopeless. It's never going to, is the will, you can't move forward. It's paralyzed. And as I'm looking a little bit further, she said, there's pictures, you have pictures, and these pictures is, makes the pain worse. So she's saying, if you could, she's like all over. She says, you don't want to feel that one. It's like you're still rejecting the reality. And it's, yeah, I could totally get that. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, how would you want to help him? Fully aware of how your emotions are, crying or upset in a space. Like I see you on your bed, like in a fetal position to some degree. But it's, I don't know if you can't have a blanket or a sheet or anything on you, but it's like, I don't know where you're at because it doesn't look like a bed, but it looks like, it's like everywhere you look, you can't help but see. She says it's like you sitting on a train track waiting for the train to hit you, and the part of you just is like, maybe I should just sit here. And then the other one is like, no, I gotta get up, move. And it's like, 16 years. Oh, well, I would like to help him. Is he ready for that stage? Yes and no. About you're going to be disapproved of. So you don't want to break her heart. There's something mulling over in your head again and again and again. And she says, you got to let go of that she's saying it's guilt. She says, you got to let go of that guilt. She says, because I love you. It's different over here. So how I see it, it's not how it's eating you up is different. And, okay, so I understand what she's saying. I would like to help you take care of the emotion. She says, well, you can't because as how a human would see it, I'm okay. I love you. It's all right. We're human. Now you need to let go of that so that we so that energy, so that pain can start to go. But at the same time, she knows that your thoughts are doing this. Now, if you ever need to get past this, I'd say the very first step that you could do, because impending doom and all of this needs to be addressed. I mean, see, we could do source point healing because your left brain and your right brain is just so low that it'll start feeling like it's insane and drive you crazy. We could actually end that on Earth has ever stopped that. On a soul connection, no. This is very strong. Okay, so who's worried about who? Here's for this. Okay, here for the same reason. My sister passed away giving birth. Gotcha. In August. Left her baby behind, and I'm worried about her. The baby? Because of the person on the other side, I will tell you, it's has she passed? Yeah. So they're good. No matter what, they're good. It's that frequency. They don't carry the same stuff. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can pick that up or not. Okay. So are you worried about the one that's passed or worried about the baby that's left behind? So answer that one first.
That one says absolutely. She was my queen.
That's not. Did Donald? Oh, he must have wrote you personally.
No, it's in the feed. It's in my feed anyway.
It's not in my feed. Doggone it. Just like when that happens.
Facebook must be filtering.
Okay, well, good. But yes. So did he have guilt? Did he write any of the answers there?
No, he didn't write anything there.
All right. So as soon as Adriana, did she write?
Are you worried about the baby?
Or the yeah. All right. So as soon as we get an answer, is there anybody else that
We've got two more.
Okay. Before we go there, Adriana says it's complicated. Her husband disappeared. Her baby's due to a family fight. Oh. Okay. So you're worried about the baby. Okay. Whatever experience that was supposed to be exposed is happening exactly the way it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to look at, do you need to worry about the baby? And there's a part of your fear that the baby is not protected. So that, again, your sister's saying, notice how you feel that you have feeding that fear that the baby is not protected. There it is there always has to be a fight and play, because if you lose touch with the baby, then you feel like you really have to ultimately lose her, and you have to find somebody to blame. That's part of that story that's playing. She says, I'm doing all I can, and understand it's not going to be a story that you'll understand, but the souls, which is meaning her husband and the baby, are playing it out the way they're supposed to. So is the baby protected? And it said, yeah, at the moment it needs to understand the feeling of what it means not to have a mother. And the baby's on that path of where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to say, is the baby protected? Yeah, right where it's supposed to be. Yes, yes. And the reason is this. I have lost many people, but I had tools that helped me in such a way. I know when people begin to, if it's too fresh, you're not going to want to do it. But if it's been a while and you can't get over this, then yes, I would say I would offer you to come on, and I would help you through the emotion and balance you so that you can begin to recover and maybe have better connection with her. You got to tell us whether you want to or not, because there are energies that's what you're made of, and we can begin to balance them to give you this particular hope and this particular feeling that you can do something about it. Emails.
Cheryl.
All right, Cheryl. Wow. Energetically, my mind died wanting to go blank. And they said, this is a habit. You've kind of trained yourself not to see something. And as I'm looking, why is that? Because you're the heart center. It's the feelings of love. If I go back little fonts of how you, oh, wow. It says diminished moral character. You had to be put into a particular space. Okay, so here we go. Towards yourself, you thought the best way to handle the situation as that young child was to diminish who you were for that. Okay. Cheryl, what is an Akashic record? That's what I'm reading. It is a book that has all of your experiences through your soul path, the genetic line from the time of conception up to now, even into the future. But the way that Spirit has taught me how to read it is energetically see where you have come in with 100% of your life force, and where are you putting it, and do you have spiritual debt? Do you have karmic debt? Are you tied to a particular ego matrix program? And what I just told you was that you had a young experience, and this is how it plays out. And all of that can be resolved, and it is part of waking. Type in medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, and that should pop up.
Tammy, she asked, do Jag and I have a future together as a couple?
Okay, let's look at this. There's a lot of variables. Variables are the choices, and repeating the choices, and you keep coming together. So the variables keeps coming together. So that's usually a good sign, and they are particularly yellow. Good. Let's look at this. So do those two have a future together? It says you're learning together about forgiving and learning. And this is what you chose. There can be a lot of honeymoon phases, a lot of great spaces. And at the same time, you keep questioning yourself to some degree, is this true love? And that is based on the fact that it is about learning how to express your love. Based on your childhood, there was a party that kind of held back, or seen people hold back, so you don't know if you can really feel other people's. And they said that as long as you can remember that when you're out of sync is to stop instead to not force. And then eventually, when it starts to come back together, learn how to be more playful and less serious about certain things. Because the relationship, if you were to just do it on pain, emotional baggage, shit from the past, then it's going to end up being a codependent relationship. And that's not really a good, healthy one. But you're there for all these beautiful reasons of forgiving, learning, and moving forward. So he's helping to develop. So yeah, you are together. I saw Donald said would love to. So we'll wait and see. Now, again, downloading Zoom is not that hard. Once you get there, you say join a room. Then you type that number there, and then you can come in. Oh, wow.
Amanda.
Yep. You can read it out.
Committed suicide a few months ago, carrying so much guilt. Sorry, I've commented so many times. Unsure if you can see my comments.
You know what's funny is it's hard.
Two devices going.
What the heck? What's going on with Facebook?
I don't know.
Okay. You need to heal the guilt. Okay, so let me ask. First, you made it to the other side. Don't worry about that. It's not as bad as the horror stories as you think. And it did take care of the pain to some degree, but now I have to relive the reviews. So I'm still, still learning, but I'm looking at it from not the pain point of view. I can see what I've done to you. I can see all of this. It was in the okay, so your soul's record, in his soul record, that he was supposed to do this. So it was already agreed upon on the soul level. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop doing that to yourself, because and the reason you're doing it is because you can feel severed love. It is not knowing how to deal with that emotion. You were supposed to say and do what you were supposed to do. And it was for my lessons and my learnings. Yes. Oh, you did? It is, well, I'll show you. I'm going to get hurt, and then you're going to feel sorry for me. Or then you'll. Okay, so if you have this and it becomes arrested development, he conveyed that he didn't get to learn past that one, but he says, I got a lot of wisdom from it, but I can understand what happened. But man, did I cause pain. So, he says, if anybody's supposed to feel guilty, he says, I am. So he says, I'm not asking for forgiveness, but know that I'm sorry. Just so you understand. What are you giving me? I'm not sure how to explain that. That was exactly who he was. Okay, good. He's So Amanda, if you watched a commercial or what it is, but all of a sudden I'm now sitting on a lake. He's not saying we're on the lake. He's just showing me that there's peaceful moments that when you have your cuppa, and it's like, because it's cold and it's hot. I mean, it's cold, but the cup's, anyway, it's safe to hold, but at the same time, there's peace and there's calm. And when you're taking a sip, know that I have my cuppa too, and everything's good. Okay. There's this comfort about that cup. So there's something there. So just understand that he's talking about that. Okay. I'm not sure. Donald, tell me if you're coming in or not, because I've got to go soon. It's over 2 hours. And so I need to have an update. If Donald is coming, I'll be patient waiting. But if Donald is unable, I don't think anybody paid, but I'll double check anyway. Why does it do that every time? I know we're in crazy times. Definitely in crazy times. And it's important more than ever to go inside and to heal and to take care of that pains and those wounds, because they, Mother Earth is saying we're on a reset, and it's time for us to begin to become a sustainable human. You're welcome, Amanda. She said, died when I was 16. I was so devastated. What the hell? Why couldn't he come to me? And when I finally started to heal the pain, the emotions, and all of this, it ended up clearing out my my thinking. And then all of a sudden, he was everywhere. That was 2 years later. How active your signs? Give me the sign if you have an emotional upheaval or anything that kind of stops that. It will cause you not to get the vibrations. And see, when my mother died, she it took her a while, but then I began to see her, hear her, and communicate with me throughout the years. And she even physically was able to give me a present after I moved to Australia. That's somewhere in one of the videos, as well as on my timeline. But my sister died and I couldn't hear her. And I was like, well, I'm not that distraught. I mean, I cried and I healed, but it's like that vibration. So sometimes when they pass, they can't really get into the wave of alignment because you're on a different frequency. Okay. So don't beat yourself up. Or because you're distraught, you may not see the signs. But my mother began to teach her how to do this. And so then I could tell. Now, if you begin to think of them, then it's usually because they're right there. They're very near to you, and you'll start crying. You'll be fine, but then again, you could also have a hysterical moment. But that's just how the nerves are. But if you sit there and you say, okay, and you call them, It's like when you think of them, that's like dialing up and I'm like, hey, Ames, and she answers, but usually it's just a thought away. So when you begin to think about it, you will then, for far as being a reader, that's how you call them in. You're thinking about them. I'm just tapping into that energy field, and therefore they already know. And most of them sit the left.
You have none.
Okay. I don't really want to miss it because he said he would love to, or whatever it was he said. But then again, because we're both missing it, I don't want to let him down. But if that's part of it, you notice I got a gray hair. No, I like my.
Oh, pull it, because you pull one gray hair and 10 more grow in.
Oh, well, I also don't want to go bald. Because they say if you pull them out by the roots, then you don't really, if you hurt the root, then they can't grow back. I don't know if that's true or not either. So if you hit the love little button at the top, or you hit notification or love button, if you share the video, then we're going to randomly pick people and just start giving out cards. So whatever from the card deck, Spirit's going to pick a card and then give you a card. So if you want that extra card, you can have a lottery type thing. So just, share away and hit the love button, and hopefully you'll get something in your message box.
Oh, TP.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't give her a reading the other day. She went out, had to shovel snow, and I did we end up giving her a reading or not? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't either. And part of me felt like, I don't think TP got one. She talked. We said hello. I can't remember. And then Amber's here. Okay.
And my head's spinning.
Huh?
My head's spinning.
So what happens to Amy because her head's spinning is that your left brain just went down. How's the right? Your right went over. So Ames, we are going to make you come live. So physically, your head's spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And any emotions yet? I know you like talking to me, but you also know it's coming to the end of the show.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? It means that the disconnection. And so you might be freaking spinning out. Now we'll get to Teresa in just a second. 16 inches of snow. Holy cow.
What? Whoa.
Dang, woman. All right. You're going to pick. Oh, you want this too? Well, all right. We'll do that. Is this upcoming? Yes. Something about upcoming. Now make sure it's an easy deck to read.
Chakra deck.
That's what I wanted. Good job. Okay. TP. All right. So I threw up my one card and Amy will grab her cards. That is orange. It's the second chakra. So you're in a renewal state.
No, it's red.
Red. Oh, I can't see. Couldn't see that at all. So it's red. It's the root chakra and it's the renewal state. And it is interesting enough. She's got to pick the second card. And that's for the second card.
Workaholic.
Yeah, I would say she is. Now, what? That was blue? I couldn't see the color.
It's blue.
Okay, so the first thing is that your soul is on a mundane frustrations and aggravations, and see what the lessons are that contain within. You find strength within weakness and turn into an advantage. Through this energy, you transform yourself. Faith is the fuel for this energy. Through transformation, you use the light instead of just feeling it. Rising above the mundane. But the problem is you're not getting the wisdom, because this is the wisdom card, but it's in reverse. You're not getting the wisdom from it. And because of the root chakra of renewal, it's the masculine energy that you have. Okay, I'm going to shut up and let her read what she's supposed to read. And then we'll go from there.
Okay, the key ideas are feelings of inadequacy, transformation indicated, not being fulfilled by work, heeding warnings and refreshing your mind to improve your work. Keywords: talent, fun, and friends.
So bring some of that energy for you because you are a workaholic and you haven't transformed out those frustrations. So aggression and all of this is that there's a part of you that feels like you got to constantly keep doing this. Now, the other side of it is, and that was the workaholic?
That was the workaholic.
Give me the other card now.
Renewal, sourcing from more beneficial.
I need you to break that cycle, and that's where the workaholic comes in. That was the fifth chakra. That is about your choices. This is about what your will is. This is about what you keep repeating. The root chakra is saying that the way that you're going to get out of that is that you're going to have to learn to accept that that's the choice you made, and you can have a renewal by stopping it. You can begin to become aware that don't be fueled by your frustrations, because that keeps you in that state of non-moving. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Now, getting to you already know. You already know that you're feeding your fear. So your left brain completely is down to a 0. Your right brain is a 7. So you're going into a depressive state. You're going into a checkout point. You are spinning. When I ask what is feeding this, they said the triple warmer and the gallbladder going off. Triple warmer is that army that says, I got to go in there and fight, fight, fight. And if I look a little bit further, it is you feel overpowered by the fact that you can't stop this. When's the next time I talk to Brenda? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe not. Now I got to hold the weekend. Da, 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 da. Do you see how all of a sudden it's like, you just spun right off like a top? Okay. And now there's a part of you, the right brain is about, I need to pout. Okay, so the pouting's kicking in. And I'm going to ask Spirit, if I were to balance that, would that help? Yes. But understand what you're doing. Point blank, that's what you're doing. Your own personal karma. I put all my energy into how I need to check out, how I go into loss, that you can't get your energy into how you can create your future. So you're creating a personal karma. Okay? Because you're existing externally and not internally. If I said, what meridian is feeling? They said the lung meridian is, I have to silently brood. So your life force is going into the large intestine, and I have to keep going and keep creating this karmic debt over and over. That's why you don't have energy, why your energies are off. And rub the gallbladder on the ankle. And you're going to do that a good 30 times. And Teresa says, yes, it does.
Diana has a question.
Yes.
She says, I have a question.
Feeding a particular story. You have to look at what happened at 8 years old. And they're saying that your security was off there. So that causes your left brain to go down, causing depression. And what's happening at that point is then you have grudges. It's injustice, it's unfair, it's grudges. So then all of your energy goes over there. And so the energy in the tube that is meant to download, there's nothing there to receive it. So then, poof. So as soon as the energy wants to appear and you're trying to do it, your body says, well, no, you've invested it over here. So you'd have to heal that over there. Now, Amy, the next part you're going to do, remember, only left side. Let's start over again. Which side? Did you do both sides?
No.
Okay.
I
Left side. Now you're going to do your heart. Left. You're going to do your heart. And then after that, you're going to the left side, left brain, left liver. Okay. So what she's doing is what's called source point healing. This happens to be something, because I'm a practitioner, It is, I'm just not going to walk her through the steps. She already knows what to do. So I'm just firing them off so she can get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're doing that, I'm going to look at Marianne. Can't even see it. Marianne. But the habit is to look for something. And because you're looking for your worth, you're actually literally looking for someone. It's like, geez, I can't find this time. Or I'm going to start eating yourself out of house and home. Well, when you don't know really what you're looking for, you literally will lose things to look for. It's kind of crazy, but that's what happens. Okay. But then there's this fear because you keep repeating this particular thing at 2 years old, Marianne. Now, we'll get to Amber in just a second. How are you feeling?
Better.
Okay. So I don't want bay hair. So that means you're going to have to make sure you go into the middle, the pericardium. Rub both sides 30 times because you're like, I just don't want to think. I don't want to feel. I just want to check out. That bed looks really good right now. That's what you're doing. You keep showing love and you keep expanding. And then what happens is then you attract in an overbearing person. Now, again, if you had a read, Amber, you keep saying there's a part of you that says, oh my God, I just want passion. I just want engagement. I just want very soon. I just want. The wanting is the thing that seems now all of a sudden to hold you back because you have a picture of what you want and then this is what you get. And they're saying the kind of man that I like end up being what you saw when you were growing up. The mirror says I have to have somebody that kind of makes me feel a little bit insecure. Doesn't have what I need in a relationship. And so it's like a deficit energy and I have to fill in that space. But then you have that fear of being controlled. And then again, if this is what you had growing up, you realize that's what you're attracting in. That all can be healed, Amber. They says right now the anxiety pulls it in. I would say try R2S, right wrist, second position, nice and soft, and think about all that. And she's pulled a third chakra card. Is that third or fourth? A third with guilt, anyway.
That is
second, third. What is it? If that's orange, second. Okay, so the color on her thing is completely off, or mine is when I'm receiving it, because it's supposed to be orange. But notice if there's guilt. Now heal that out as best you can. Amy, how you feeling?
Better.
Understand you keep feeding your energy is the reason everything goes off is because you keep feeding that you feel like you're limited. You believe you're limited. You believe in your limitations. And so then your energy and your life force goes into those limitations and you become irrelevant. And the limitations wasn't something that you created, but you felt because somebody else created them for you. And inside the womb at 5 months old. So you've got to look at how you believe that you're limited. I'm not going to have connections. It's just exacerbate. I believe in the limited. So you keep accepting, keep putting your life force and your willpower into that belief. And it's not going to break. Little girl, how to survive. And hopefully you can get past some of those things because I felt like people have gotten burned by you. And there's underlying guilt that may pop up later. Once you start to heal this, you're going to realize what you've done. That's not pretty. I'm sorry. But it is part of the dark night of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's every human out there. Oh, wow. Amber's all excited. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like I'm in a, what is that movie? I want what she's having. Yeah. I want you to take off your limitations too, Amber. I'm assuming Donald's not coming back, and that is okay.
Yeah, I haven't.
All right, so if there's no more emails and everybody's gotten a reading in the room, we'll double check one more time if there's anybody in the room that has not. Hey, Nicole just popped in. Hi, guys. Hope you're all staying safe. Nicole, if you're here, if you want to read, I'll do it before I go.
I've got an email from Danny.
Danny. Oh, Crystal Ann was here. So Danny, what'd she say? Just says, please.
She says, am I successfully following Spirit's guidance to move from monogamy, or is this more of the red herring?
Okay, so it's going to be part of the red herring just because just do it. But anyway, make an effort. There's a part of you that doesn't know how to make an effort with certain things because it is all in your soulmate properly. Because if you do that, then it's something bad's going to happen, and they're going to have to be. Well, what does the child really think's going to happen? And it is. It has to always be envious what other people have, and that, my love, can actually be healed out. Envious. So there's more to the story. Something about towards yourself. And you have to keep the pain to remind you of how to function so you can keep the little love you do have. Oh. All right. So you're so good at making yourself it. You stay there. Well, eventually you're going to have to heal that out. We'll get there. Yeah, I know you're so over the dark night of the soul. Now, what happens is that if you actually, Danny, the request that I asked you, if you really don't be surprised, so your answer I think is coming. I don't know if like when you finish that last stroke or whatever it is, it'll come to me. Now, all right, so you got two people that are here. One of them says that you can't hear me. I keep hollering. I keep putting down. Oh, he must be old. I keep putting down these pennies and I keep putting down these things, but you just don't. It has to be a little old granny. Don't call me a granny. Damn it. Okay, so did you have a complainer? Somebody's over here and it's like they're noticing that you toward yourself, what is she doing? She has this nasty habit. It's the whole point. Oh, don't. Okay, so she's kind of like a little violent lady. That makes any sense. Maybe that's why, she can't hear you, is because of the energy you're putting out. Okay, again, when they go, they're happy as a lark. But when it comes to this frequency of how to communicate with the emotional body and the mental body and getting into this frequency because they're there and they had to come back, sometimes they can have a funny little way of acting. And the weird part is when you look at them, they pick what they want to look like. It won't be what you remember sometimes. It is funny. Crystal Allen, she has wrote. Did she have anything particular she wrote?
Can you scan me and my house, please?
Okay. They said this is a broken record. There's a particular part of you that's stuck in repeating a particular message. You're just repeating a particular habit. You're repeating a particular habit. Now, I'm going to do something for Crystal in a minute. Amy, are you choosing you want to spin out because you're like, oh my God, I got to freak out because I ate it?
No, I feel better. Still spinning a
limitation. You're going to be doing some homework. I limit myself. I believe in limitations. And oh my God, it's my dream. You need to stop doing that, okay? Yeah, I don't know what the hell is with the... Anyway. Crystal, my love, I want you to do me a favor. If you're watching Crystal, where do you want her to do this? So we want to bring the bright down. Okay. Yes. Crystal, what I want you to do is understand that you're going to go and look for the inside of the leg, and it's on the right leg. Go only to the right leg. On the inside, big toe, go all the way up, behind the ankle bone, right in the back. Rub that 30 times. Rub that 30 times. And if helping to correct the brain, that it's doing and hearing and seeing what's going on in your space. Okay? You just, okay, so you're watching. Now, tell me when you're done rubbing that point, and then we'll go to the next thing. Ambers. Yes, we are going to be coming up with a membership, a monthly membership. So you can, I think it's going to be a unit. So I feel like it's a tribal unit. It's Medicine Woman's Solution tribal unit. And it is, we're coming up with helping you understand that there are benefits. There are people out there that just watch gamers and they pay a certain amount and they're just there and they love that. Well, you get to have these intimate moments. I don't know, really, we're doing that. Apparently, to my just now telling me is that I'll probably have my phone and I'll be, look, there's my birdies. So you're going to have maybe some intimate moments with me and watching TV. What? No. We're going to be talking about this. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm willing to do, but they're coming off with these little interesting things. But you are going to have exposure to different levels of how to pay. Different things are being given to you, discounts, free stuff. And then you'll be able to enter in the classes. And that's how you really, so it's one place that people are serious. And then we can create the tribal unit so that you will also get to talk to the other members that have already started this journey, and they can help guide you. They're not professionals, but they freaking know what the dark night of the soul is. They know what to look for to some degree. They're beginning to teach you, can help you understand more about the spiritual mindset versus the ego mindset. You really are going to be able to do this. Okay, and it'll happen. Nicole, yes. Yes. Pick up that coin. Yeah, I would rather have you pick up the coin than notice her cane. She's just still here. She's got an interesting face. I'm not even going to go there. Now, Krista, oh, that has helped. Now I'm going to look at the left brain. Now, left side only. You're going to rub on the left side only. And the left side of this is that you're going to go on the outside of your foot on the left leg. And you're going to go right in the middle. Just go right in the middle the best you can to where the foot is, just a little bit up there. Rub, 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 rub. Good 30 times. Heal these dark night of the souls, get you into waking up, helping you find your authenticity, learning how to live in your spiritual mindset and understand what ego mindset really is and what the false self is, and you don't have to keep falling for it. You can learn to get your life force back, balance your personal karma, balance the karmic debt, the spiritual debt, and be done with this already so you can move into a happier, healthier. We're going to also learn about heart coherence, helping that brain and the heart so that you can actually learn to just start being happy. Okay, we're going to learn how to connect you to your the hardwiring of joy, because that's what you really are, and suffering is just an option. So all these classes are being developed. They want me to do something just start in April, and then they'll all start to come through as follows. Really? I need more manpower for that. Being that said. Oh, we're almost there. Crystal Ann, one more time. Now you're going to go to the liver. And you want her to do the left side. Left side only, left foot only. And you're going to, between the big toe and the second toe, come all the way down where the bone meets. It's that point on top of the foot. Rub that again. Rub that 30 times, please. Yeah. I know, sweetie. I would have loved to have had you there, but Spirit said that is okay. You had to get things adjusted, and you have always been in the heart, and there's another option. At least you understood, huh?
There's always a third option.
There's always a third option. That's also what we teach you on this becoming a spiritual human. And this is a whole new earth, and you need to have new options of how to become. If you feel compelled, please share away. Help people get to know that they don't have to live in their hell. Some people are going to wake up really fast, and then some people are going to. And we reward those. Like today. Oh, she's done. Let me check. Crystal. Did you feel any difference? Now, normally I have you measure, but Spirit said just jump in and let her just rub those points. Do you feel any different? because the energy in your brain is definitely looks nice. Everything's rearranging. So understand that Spirit is going to give you, it's going to randomly pick people if you share. That's one way to get a card. Again, I don't know how many cards we're going to put out. If you hit the love button icon, then that's another option so that you can get your a card. You may end up finding that you won and got a card and she doesn't feel any different. It's because we didn't measure. But okay, so and you got to find that value. She said they're saying that she said self. So you're under pressure. Where you're going? They said that lofty energy is constantly sitting there in the heart, and that's what you're looking for. Well, I tried. Sorry, Crystal. I was hoping that would actually help you feel different, but it is your polarity off? No, they said, don't worry, let it go. And as I check your house, you have more safeguards up in there. Erratic energy, gets upset, any of this stuff. It'll feel like the house is full of that energy. So it'll feel like there's something there, but you can feel their behavior there, because when people don't understand, you need to be responsible for the energy you bring into the room. Responsibility is the ability to respond, and if you respond angry, it's projecting out, and you have an aspect and maturing out of that emotional states of responses. Then if people start throwing their shit around because they're angry, hurt people, feeding to you. And so you have somebody in your space, and then there is the energy you have. So if you have to fight back, then that energy is in the space. So when you're walking by, you will walk into that particular space. Okay, look at it like a virus. The virus can't grow unless you feed it, you carry it forward, you pass it on. The virus will stay in that space waiting to get picked up and to travel. It's the same thing with people's energies. When 9/11, I see, this is why I really protect myself. But when I went out at 9/11, okay, yeah, so long ago, but this is a very strong experience for me. I went out. And when this is your own fear there, because you're fearful of, and that's why we were trying to readjust the brain so you didn't have to go there. The caudate nucleus is only walked in front of my van and target blew up. I flew back, hit my back on my windshield. I couldn't breathe, but it was just somebody's fear. They left in the parking lot and I picked it up. You have no idea what a mind virus is. You don't understand what the mind field is when it comes to the astral shit you guys leave behind. I've done it too. But we are now moving in a fifth dimension where you got to start being responsible for the shit you put out. And you need to dissolve it. You need to take your power back, good or bad. And then you need to disengage and reestablish new energy fields with people so that the shit's not out there, and we can start getting rid of these viruses and these bacteria and this shit that we keep picking up. Because you don't understand the process is that if you are an emotional shit house, that life force is going and it will create a disease for you. And then you're constantly fueling it and feeding it. And you wonder why you can't get better, because you haven't changed the mindset. You haven't changed that frequency. You haven't changed the nervous system and the pattern of how you know your experiences. This is why we resolve to evolve. This is why I say to you, you need to heal instead of deal. I've seen such great progress within myself. Amy, other people, we've replicated it through my clients. All of this, how to do it within yourself. See, again, I'm going to teach you, I think, Amy, I might have to write this down. I might have to create a class so I can teach you how to realize when you put the shit out there and then how to reclaim your own shit back. And because it's important to be responsible for the energy you put out there. So if you're going to be a dickweed, you need to pull that energy back. Okay? So that's very important.
Crystal asked She says, is my one ex that
to haunt you. But if you think of him, that's like picking up the phone, dialing and calling him. And if your fears, that caudate nucleus is getting a hard on, and that fear takes over, then you're going to bring up memories that are unresolved issues, and they start to play out as a story. This is why I sound like a broken record. We've talked about this in different forms. If your memories and experiences are not resolved out, you will keep seeing them and keep repeating them. We want to help you. Okay, we want to help you, but you need more information. You need to be able to get that experience to let go of the old experiences. If you can learn to resolve and you can learn to get to the next step, you can really start getting answers. But no, stop thinking of him. Stop calling him in. The moment you do, cancel, cancel, cancel. Okay? You know, hang up that phone. Cancel, cancel, cancel. That's 3 beautiful words that you can do. Yes, Marianne says, where your attention goes, energy flows. And absolutely truth. And if you understand how the relationship of mirror consciousness works with the divine, Spirit will give you exactly what you asked for. So if you heal the fears, heal the chemical peptides that cause you to see this, taking the pictures out, you need to go, and if you could go to my website and pick out the sensory accessing system and learn how to do this, you could pull out the pictures. Right now, you keep wanting proof that there's something there. Well, if you keep calling it back, there's nothing we can do about it. You have got to cancel when you start thinking about it, or take your energy back, and it can change. Okay. All right. Since there's no more emails and Donald's not come back, we are going to safely say that he's not going to. And they're going to kick me off soon anyway. So it's almost 3 hours. Okay. We're good. We appreciate you. Remember, if you shared the link, or, here's the thing. If you go and you share my page, I wonder if we'll see that. There's going to be a bunch of people that are going to get cards, if you hit the love button, or if you shared me or shared my page. Because if you share my page, I should be able to see that. And anybody that shares a page, even if it's not during the show or after the show or about the show, and how do you share? You don't even have. I'm new here, but I'm going to check out your page. Thanks so much. Yeah, and if you've please give me a review, give me a recommendation. It's time to get other people out there so they can have this wonderful thing Spirit has to give. Okay. Mm-hmm. You guys are great. What do we always say, Ames?
Heal instead of deal.
Resolve to evolve.
You can heal that.
And wait a minute, I lost it.